Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hi, I'm Hazel. This over that way is my betta fish Flutta, and welcome to our Tuesday morning Mount Run stream. Hello, how are you guys doing today? I am so ready. Look how ready I am. I am seated. I can stay seated. I have tea. I have water. I have glasses and headphones. I have my phone if I need it. I probably won't. And we're here to kill the Lich King approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, because this shaman is now ready for ICC farming, so we're up to 9 now. If I ever find it in my heart to finish leveling this character, then I'll be able to do it 10 times. I probably won't ever, I mean, I may eventually level the mage, but I won't run it on her because she is, of course, the lockout character, so we'll start there, renew our lockout, get started, and we have some catching up to do. You know, I said I was ready, and I found, oh, there it is. The glasses cleaning cloth is very important. Good morning. Since OBS updated, can you do an updated tutorial? Is OBS updated? I should probably update mine. Mine looks the same still. I'll check that out, and then if there's any significant differences that would cause changes in how you set it up, then sure. But for the most part, OBS goes through a bunch of small updates, and most of them don't change the UI too much, every now and then. Oh, hi, cat. Kitty. I don't know if that's a good spot for you. She's just flopped right in the desk, like right between my keyboard and my mouse. And she's like in prime position so that when she starts swapping her tail like cats do, she's gonna be pressing keys. She was doing this yesterday. I was trying to edit and she kept stopping and starting the playback because she was swapping her tail on the spacebar. And it just doesn't work. Kitty, come here. Come here. You can sit on my lap. Oh, come. You can sit on my lap if you want. Yeah, that's a good spot, huh? You want to say hi to everybody? Let's see. Hello. Pretty chill cat. Love peach tea. I'm chatting from work. Sup, Norma? Purple hair. Why, thank you. Hoping for a drudge ghoul. Please do an updated OBS. Helping out Jenny Awesome again. Am I helping out Jenny Awesome? What am I doing? This button, this button, this button, this button, this button. And then we go into here. Oh, sorry. Sometimes the hair tickles the cat. No, you gotta stay in my lap. You can't sleep on my desk. I know. I know. Don't make me line it with tinfoil. I don't want to, but I'll do it. She, along with many cats, doesn't like walking on aluminum foil. So if there's anywhere you really don't want her to go, then that's what you gotta do. But the only place we've ever actually had to do that is there's one spot on our bed frame that she really likes to, okay, good, that's right. There's one spot in her bed frame that she likes to stretch and scratch at a bit. Nowhere else in the house, none of the other furniture, but that one spot. So we keep just like a little thing of tinfoil there. Let's start over here. Opinion on the gear lock in Mythic Plus, and you might have to equip defensive gear for one boss. I mean, what do you mean defensive gear for one boss? Like, where, like, you cannot survive that dungeon without wearing that gear set, so you have to wear it for the whole thing. I mean, yeah, but, like, if it's a problem and it stops you from completing the dungeon, then they're gonna tune it. And if it doesn't stop you from completing the dungeon, then it's probably gonna work out. Like, it's not like the restriction only applies to you and your group, and other people that you're competing against on a leaderboard will do it faster because they can swap gear. Like maybe, and also as far as, I mean, I can't really talk too much to that yet because I haven't done every dungeon. I've done a bunch of them. I haven't done all of them yet. But was that the case for any bosses in, I mean, I guess it also depends on how high of keys you're pushing and how many people that's going to apply to, but does that apply to any Legion dungeons that you must equip a defensive set? I mean, I guess you'd put on Pride-Az, but Pride-Az was never really like necessary because anything that Pride-Az would save you from was generally avoidable. It was just nice to have on so that you could kind of space out a bit and have it be fine. But I am not certainly the only perspective there. How's your morning going? What's up, Matthew? My morning's going all right. I've been up for a while, which you guys can probably tell by the fact that, one, I'm ready for the stream. Secondly, I'm wearing lipstick, and if I'm on normal Tuesdays, my makeup is the style of makeup that can be done in about 4.5 minutes. Kitty's gone exactly back to where I removed her from. Kitty. They can't even, you're really in the way and they can't even see you and you're so cute. Hi. She's been extra nice to me for the last day or two, which is very, very sweet of her. I have some stuff's been going on that I should catch you guys up on. Do you get the WoW reference in my name from Squishy Chunk? I can't say that I do. What time is it? It's 9:05 in the morning. This week, the Drake of the Southwind dropped for me. Had to roll for it with a friend. I lucked out. Felt a bit sorry, though. I mean, congrats. That is the danger of doing any kind of a mount run with anybody else at all. I don't share for that reason, because I don't want to be in that situation. I don't want to be the person that wins it, and I definitely don't want to be the person that doesn't win it. And there's no third option there. Oh, I'm a little bit behind. Sometimes my chat auto scrolls and sometimes it doesn't. Phone chat doesn't do the highlight your name thing. Oh, weird. Never done Court of Stars. Xavius Tyrannical gets pretty nasty. Hate Coil and I and Shadowbolt Volley. Oh, the Shadowbolt Volley, true. It's usually just, I mean, again, I haven't done super high keys, but whenever I've done that in the past, you would use a defensive cooldown for the first Shadowbolt Volley, and the subsequent ones weren't that bad. For whatever reason, it was the first one. I'll be able to get the mounts you can get from the Exalted chests. I don't have any of them yet. Those are not going away. You should still be able to get them. It's going to be less fun going back and doing world quests for a previous expansion, but you will still be able to do it. Is it bad that I have a weekly Hazel alarm set to remind me of the live streams? I don't think so. I have a weekly stream alarm to make sure that I come here, although I haven't needed it usually. I typically don't need it. Good morning, Hazel. Hey, Chelsea. How are you doing? Guys, it's paining me that my cat is not on camera because she's being precious. Where's my fish? She's on camera. So, if I'm going to catch you guys up on what's been going on, it's been like a lot. It's been a lot of different things in the last couple of days. There's been like some ups and downs there. And the silly thing is the ups were really good things that happened to me this week. And the downs were not, like the thing that went wrong shouldn't really be bothering me this much, but I'm still kind of broken up about it. So I guess I'll back up to like, and this is going to be storytelling for a while, so prepare for like an hour-long story where I don't talk to you guys. If we go back to Friday, which is the last time I streamed, after the stream, I was really excited because my 20-gallon long new freshwater aquarium was ready for fish. It had been fishlessly cycled. Everything was testing very good. It was completely ready. I'd had it set up and running for almost 20 days. I'd been monitoring the levels. Everything was good. So I take a water sample into the store and talk to her about my stocking plans and trying to figure out which fish I want to get in there, what I want to start with. Kiwayne, thank you very much for the super chat. Good morning. Good morning. Appreciate that. So yeah, we go to the store, talk to the very nice lady. She helps me figure out, and this is a fish store. This isn't like a chain pet store. I've been to these people a couple of times, and I have good confidence that they know what they're doing. All right, I actually forgot to join the group. No, where'd my group go? Did I wait too long? I waited too long. I need to go relist my own group. Oops. Oh, okay, so we go there, and I was trying to figure out what the third type of fish was going to be, because I knew I wanted corridors on the bottom, and I knew I wanted one Bolivian ram, and maybe a honey gourami, but I can go either way on that. But I needed like a top swimmer. I needed like a top swimmer fish that I can get a couple of them, or like a small school to have something that's not on the bottom, because rams and cories are all bottom swimmers. So we look at the different things, and we decide on cherry barbs, because they're colorful, and they're supposed to be easy, and cheap, you know, good beginner starter fish. So I get 5 cherry barbs. What am I doing? I'm relisting my group. We get 2 boys and 3 girls. We bring them home, get them all set up, and they're super shy. Like, they hide behind the sponge filter and the heater, and they pretty much stay in that tiny corner of this huge tank for days and days, and I have a really hard time getting them to eat. I can get them to eat a little bit if I like get food into their corner, but without spooking them too much, which is hard because they're super skittish. So I just figured they needed like a couple more days to settle in. It doesn't help that on Saturday we went, I figured they needed, like, they had a bunch of plants in there, but I figured they might want more plant cover to help them have more hiding spots. I read that was a good thing. So we went out and we picked up a bunch of other plants and then added like a bunch more to the back and the middle of the aquarium. And while the extra cover is probably a good idea, the disruption may have disturbed them. I don't really know. So did that on Saturday. They were still high through all Saturday. They were still high through all Sunday. And they were mostly fine. And then yesterday, yesterday I found one of them and he wasn't living any longer. One of my little boys died, and I was really upset about it. I took him out right away. I tested all the water. The water was all still testing fine. 3 of the remaining ones have come out a lot more. They've become a lot more active and bright and moving around. They're still really skittish, and it's still hard to get them to like visibly eat, but I'm pretty sure they're eating what I put in there after I leave. I set up a webcam on their tank. And then the other one that was kind of hanging out with our departed tiny fishy boy, his widow, I would like to say. She's still having a hard time. She's just kind of staying in one spot, hanging out, looking not too happy. So I only have 4 now, and they're still looking a little stressed. I think the plan is we're going to pick up a couple more today because they're a schooling fish, and they should be more comfortable with more of them. And none of them are showing any signs of like parasites, and the water's fine. It's not ammonia poisoning. It's not nitrate poisoning. It's just worry. I'm worried. I'm worried about my buddies. I spent a somewhat unstable day yesterday worrying about them. Hey, there's my group. Found it. So that was a sad thing that happened. All the other things that happened in the last couple days are like really good news. But I'm hopefully the other new fish settle in. I'm gonna predict. If you are, I just want to say hi. If you aren't, well, this is embarrassing. Hi, Peppermint Cat. Hello, everyone. Hello. Am I late? Not too late. What about a cleaner like a Pleco? Plecos get too big for my tank. I have a 20-gallon long tank. Most Plecostomus, with the exception of the rubber lip Pleco, will get like 6 to 8 to 12 inches, like huge. They'll turn huge, and they're very messy. They would take a lot of the bioload of the plant, of the tank. Corridoras, which I do plan on, are they're also catfish. They're just much smaller ones. Yo, Hazel, what up? Lucky Cow, how are you doing? Always watch your streams afterwards. Made it this time. Welcome to the live stream. No switching is not an issue for people not doing high keys. Way past 15, and I assume 20-ish. Morning, Hazel. Good morning. Just finished the Suramar questline. Got my Arcanist Mana Saber. Grats, Simon. Gonna hurt the ones pushing the high keys in weaker classes. Even though I do run plus 15, I enjoy switching my gear. Worst part of fish keeping. Definitely more better with schooling fish. If the school's too small, they bite at each other. Yeah, and the widow is also biting other fish out of her spot. I was worried about possibly adding more too soon, just in case they have something contagious, but I think it's highly likely it's just due to the stress of adding them and the stress of having not enough of them, based on how they're acting and all that. So we'll try adding a couple more. If we keep losing them, then I'll chill for a bit and try and figure out what's going on. But I really don't want to medicate them when I can't diagnose them with anything, because that's another good way to kill your fish. Alright, I'm going into raid difficulty normal, 25, zone in, bump it up to Heroic. So that was the happy and sad thing, because I do still have 4 new fish. I'm trying my best not to absolutely obsess and worry about whether or not they're okay. They seem mostly fine. I'm going to try feed them again a little later today. And then, of course, we're adding some more tonight. If that all goes well, then we'll continue adding fish next week, which will be exciting. The second thing that happened that was kind of cool was on Saturday. I found and purchased and am set up now with a BlizzCon ticket. I got my BlizzCon ticket. I know a guy through my husband that knew a guy that knew a guy that was able to get me set up. So I bought my ticket. I have it. It is set up. It's got my name on it. So I can stop worrying about that. I'm definitely extra super going to BlizzCon. Did I do this right? Raid difficulty, Heroic. We're on Heroic 25, ready to kill the Lich King. Alright, let's go get an Invincible. My cat is still... She's still... Oh, she's spooked now. She was using my hand as a pillow, and it was very cute, but now she wants to know why I'm dangling this camera over her head. It's alright. No, it's not. There, that's approximately it. Okay, going to the upper spire. My goldfish died a day after I bought them. Never trust me with a fish. That's the frustrating thing. It is not unusual for fish to die. Traveling is stressful for them. I just worked really hard to make sure this new tank was very safe and fully cycled and set up with lots of good spots and lots of live plants. And I was hoping to avoid it, but it's a thing that can happen. It was a $2.50 fish. He was just, I liked him. He was tiny. I'm not naming them because one, I have, it's a school like 5 or it's 4 now. We're going to have 7 of them, maybe 6 if that female that's not doing good doesn't make it. So I'm not going to name each one of them because it's hard to tell them apart. but I was calling him Tiny Fishy Boy. R.I.P. Tiny Fishy Boy. First time watching a mount run, what do you do? So basically, bosses in the old raids can drop mounts. They have a very low chance to drop mounts. And I'm farming for a specific one. So what I'm doing is, this dude up here, I am killing him on this character, and then I'm going to continue to switch over characters and kill him repeatedly in order to maybe get his mount. It's a 1% drop chance, so there's a 1 in 100 chance every time I do this for him to give me an invincible. We're going to give it 10 tries today, 9 or 10 tries. I counted at the beginning of the stream, but I've already forgotten. We're going to give it 9 to 10 tries, and we do this every Tuesday. We're not super expecting the mount in any given try, but it's statistically likely to happen eventually. Use an auto or a rubber nose Plucko, 4 inches. Yeah. I'm not too worried about having a cleanup crew, because again, I am planning on quarries, and I'm also planning on keeping up with the maintenance. But I have heard good things about autos. I do want a Pleco eventually. Like, one day, if I can find a Pleco to be compatible with my one-day future goldfish, I am in love with goldfish and would love a proper, good-sized goldfish tank one day. And maybe I'll get a Pleco with him. What do you think about the black Earl Grey for someone who started drinking tea every day? If you've started drinking tea every day, try all the teas. Try every tea. Give them all a fair shot. Take some time to actually sit down and taste them and think about, like, what it is that's on your palate. Have a relaxing, enjoyable time with it, and try everything. You never know what you're gonna like, and you never know what you're gonna not like. And on top of that, try making them a few ways. If you try a tea straight and you don't like it, try it with milk, try it with sugar, try it with lemon, try it with honey. Try it, whatever, put mustard in it if you want. Don't do that, but you could. It doesn't matter. Just try it. Experiment, There's a whole world for you to explore and discover. I won a goldfish from a carnival in '99. Had him put in a pond at a local pet store in 2011. He was so big. Yeah, goldfish get huge if they're well taken care of. I think neon tetras look nice. I know nothing at all about keeping them. Hope your fish make it, Hazel. I thank you. Neon tetras were one of the ones, neons and cardinals, which are similar, were one of the ones we considered. Neons are a little less sturdy these days than they used to be because they've become very inbred because they're so popular. Cardinals might have worked, and that was the other one that we almost got, but I ended up going with the barbs because I just like them a little bit better. Running ICC now, also pray for me. Good luck in your runs, thank you. Why Void Elf female way better than Void Elf males? I don't know if that's true. Void Elf males are pretty boppin'. They're pretty with it. They're pretty, I've run out of funky hip adjectives. Hey Hazel, how late am I up, Stephanie? We're only like 20 minutes in. They're altered at a DNA level that gives them the neon color. The alteration sterilizes them. I think you're thinking of glowfish. R.I.P. Bear Tartar. Yeah, you don't need it for this style of run because I'm not actually killing any trash. Basically, all I'm doing is sharing my lockout so I can jump straight to the Lich King on each of these characters. There's no trash involved at all. So aside from maybe strategically nuking a critter or two, there wouldn't really be a benefit to Bear Tartar in this situation. Tea sounds like work. All hobbies sound like work until you get into them. I'm sure the stuff that I'm doing with all of my fish tanks would sound like work if you weren't excited about fish, but I'm just so over the moon thrilled to be spending time with them. I'm all about it. I'm all excited trying to find different things that they might want to eat. Different plants that might do good. It's loot day, my dudes. Just got invincible. Grats! Should write a book called The Adventure of Tea Drinking. I feel like that's a book that I should write when I'm like 87 years old and I've had a good long full life filled with many tea adventures, because right now I'm quite sheltered. I have never left North America. I am 25 years old and I drink what I can have shipped to me. I feel like I would need to actually like travel and meet some people and try some different teas around the world, like in their home locations, and that sounds terrifying because I don't travel well. All right, well that was number one, so that didn't go, but we're gonna hearth, log over, get into the new group, and not the new group, the same group. Do it again. You know what else I've been doing in WoW lately? I have been starting, and I fully blame my guildmate for this. One of my buddies has been doing this, and he's been talking about it to me, and it's made me start. I'm catching up on Family Familiar. I got an add-on for it. What am I doing? Pre-made? Hang on. Oh, I didn't log over yet. I got an add-on that helps you track what you have and haven't done. I can only bring it up when I'm at the tamer. So you get, it's called Family Familiar Helper. you go to the tamer, you click on them, and it shows you a grid of your family familiar progress. So it shows you all of the tamers, all of the families in a grid, and it has the icons lit up for the ones that you've done. So I've started doing that. I did, Bretta Tenderhide was up yesterday. I did her, or not yesterday, the day before maybe? Bretta Tenderhide was up the day before yesterday, and I did her on all of my characters, because I do have enough characters that are World Quest available to do a whole achievement, like all of them, in one go. So I've started. It's going to be a journey, but it's something that I need to just do. I've already long past accepted the fact that I am not making guides. Video guides are not the best way to showcase like 120 strategies for an achievement, or however many it is. But I need to at least do it. When I used to keep goldfish years ago, I remembered I had a Ranchi that tripled in size. He was so cute and had such a chubby face. Goldfish are adorable. So cute. I was all about the longfin shubunkin, and I still am. But now I'm thinking if I ever get a pond one day, I do those. And if I have an aquarium, maybe fantails. Fancy goldfish kind of weirded me out. They looked a little bit deformed, but fantails are like the least odd looking of the fancy goldfish. And some of them have really, really lovely tails. And they're cute. And you can keep them in a slightly smaller tank. You still want a huge tank, but you can, like, if I had that 125 gallon, I could probably safely do 5. If I get a 75 gallon, I could probably do 3. You could maybe fit 3 in a 55 if you're, like, really believing in yourself, but goldfish are so messy that you don't want to push it. So close to 100K. Thank you. Impressed that the subtitles for the stream are fast and accurate? Yeah, that's just a miracle of Google processing, honestly. It has absolutely nothing to do with the way I speak, because Google frequently misunderstands me because I don't enunciate all that well, and sometimes I speak a little quickly. Thank you for the words of encouragement last stream. Got my VoD elf from 23 to 88. 23 to 88! That is a heck of a week, dude. Congrats! Took about 10 runs to get that mount. I have 340 mounts now. I consider this an illness. I started playing WoW 4 months ago, and I've been farming it ever since. Today was the day. Feels good, man. Nice. Now you gotta get a new goal, though. Now you have to have, like, a new driving force. That's been, like, your WoW dream up until now. So now you need a new dream. I recommend Ashes of Alar. I saw it drop once. I gave it to the girl I ran with. Now she doesn't play anymore, and I haven't seen it since. Oh, similar story. Not the same, but similar story. My husband started playing a little bit again for the free weekend. And he really wants to play Void Elf, but he doesn't have his rep up because he didn't play much through 7.3. So I was doing World Quest with him every day to help him get through the Argus stuff and just to hang out with him. And we're out in Argus killing stuff. And he's like, hey, is this Biletooth Gnasher anything good? I'm like, what? Because I don't have that yet. I've been playing this whole time, and to be fair, I stopped doing Argus a while ago. But I'm like, you just got a what now? And then right after that, his random favorite mount keybind puts him on the Abyss Worm, which is the Mr. Sassine mount, which I also never got. And I was slightly salty, brackish, you could say. I got Invincible Reign's first run. Got that with Netherwing rep today. Grats a Netherwing. Around the world in 90 days. My cat came because she heard your voice, and now she stays and watches with me the stream. That is so cute. Hey Hazel. Hey BJ, how are you doing? Kind of mounts you farming? All invincible all day. So we're we're uninviting my Void Elf. Softy made it from Mount Red. Sup, Softy? How are you doing? Hazel, how you doing? Sup, Teria? Invincible hacks. We're not hacking. We're doing creative use of lockout share. Raid difficulty, normal 25. Okay, so I told you guys about my fish tragedy, which will... I'm okay. Like, I'd had him for a couple days. I'm not gonna cry myself to sleep. I just want to make sure it's not a problem that's going to continue affecting the fish I'm trying to set up there. And then we bumped up to Heroic. I want the ones that are still there to look happier, because all they do is hide, and I just want to see them eating. I worry about them. They're really cute. There was one that swam right up to me last night, because I was sitting in front of the tank like I do. And the other ones were kind of doing their thing, and she had gotten chased out of the corner by that girl that was friends with the one that died. I'm creating whole cliques in my head that are probably not even true. Yeah, she got chased out of the corner, so she like came swimming right up to the front, which none of the other ones had done yet. And she swam right up to me and was swimming around in front of me for a minute, just like checking me out, and it was the stinking cutest thing. And I really hope that one makes it because I love her. I'm in LA right now. I've been farming Invincible for way too long. I think I would pay for it so much money if it were on the WoW store. Yeah, but like the whole dream is that, like, I feel like when you get it after farming it for a long time, you're going to enjoy it way more than if you just bought it. I have every WoW store mount, some of them gifted to me, and many of them bought through my own. I just buy Blizzard stuff. That's who I am. And I barely ride them. I ride them when they pop up. I ride them when they pop up on my random favorite mount keybind. I occasionally ride them if their theme really fits the character I'm playing, like the Armored Bloodwing comes out a bit whenever I'm playing like a vampiric style character. But aside from that, I don't really care about them. But like mounts that I worked for, my Lucid Nightmare, my Emerald Drake, those ones are juicy. I like those ones a lot. Recommend a good movie? For what ages? For what ages and what genres? Because I was gonna say Repo the Genetic Opera, but I would not watch that with children under the age of probably 13. Maybe over that. Depends on how much fake gore your child can handle. Is this your main? So this character, and then the one that I played directly previous to this, this one was my main throughout Legion. The other one I'm planning on being my main for BFA, I think. I'm been going back and forth. I'm not in shadow form. I need to fix that. I am wearing my gear. The Fire Festival Mog is just a Mog, but there we go. Whew. Getting Ash's second try before I knew how good it was. When doing mount runs, do you tend to focus on one mount until you get it, or do you try and do as many different lockouts per week as you can? I've been both places. Up until a couple of weeks ago, I was doing the second way, where I would just do a run through many different lockouts, but I really want to get this ICC thing done because it's like this big lockout sharing thing, and there's nothing that guarantees that they're gonna let us do this forever. I want to try and maximize my ICC attempts, and that kind of like caps my patience for mount farms for the rest of the week. So for now and for this one, I'm sticking to just this one because it does cut down on travel time a lot, having all your characters parked outside the same instance. That is how I used to do it back in the day, and I do think I prefer this a little better, just putting all of your characters towards one thing. It also builds up a little bit more anticipation. When you run 10 different raids for whatever mount, one of them drops, and you go, okay, cool, I can cross that one off my list, I adjust my route, but you don't have that same emotional buildup that you do when you ran this one guy 102 times over consecutively. Got Invincible this Saturday? Nice! Repo's such a good film. It's an amazing film. It's one of my favorite movies. I think I bought it 3 different times. I bought it on DVD. I bought it on iTunes when I was in Canada, and then I had to buy it again when I immigrated and changed my Apple account to America because they don't let you share stuff across the border. You have to like switch back and forth. It's really annoying. So I bought it again. Oh, speaking of funny story, I need to actually remember to go fix this. I really wanted to watch Finding Nemo. I've been on this big fish kick. I got those shrimp. They reminded me of the shrimp from Finding Nemo. I was just dying to watch Finding Nemo again. And, I hadn't had time. And then one night last week, I don't remember which night it was, but one of the nights last week, I had some more work to maybe do after dinner, but I was so exhausted. And I was like, you know what? I'm just having a glass of wine. I'm gonna watch a movie. I'm watching the movie and then I'm going to bed. I'm done. So I open up my Apple TV. Sorry, I use a lot of Apple stuff. I open up my thing and I search up Nemo, and the turtle pops up and it's like Finding Nemo, $20. And it's like, well, I could rent it or I could buy it. I'm just gonna buy it. I don't want to have the threat of not being able to watch it again without paying again hanging over me. So I'm just gonna buy it. So I pay the $20 to buy the movie. And I start it. And there's a narrating voice narrating the Disney opening, being like a winding river streaked through a calm valley. A castle emerges with a flag flying from the top of the tallest tower. I'm like, what? And I had purchased the version of Finding Nemo that was designed for blind viewers. It was the blind, the narration for the blind. And well, that's okay. I mean, that's fine. I can just turn it off. And you can't. Can't turn it off when you bought. I mean, if you could, I couldn't figure out how, but you can't turn it off with that movie. I bought the wrong one, and I figured that out. It turns out the right one was only $15, and I had just bought one that would only play with subtitles. So I went ahead and purchased the correct one, and I'm hoping that as soon as the order finishes actually going through, I'll be able to contest it and tell Apple, excuse me, I didn't mean to buy the blind one, I'm sorry. It came up first, and I didn't read because I was really excited about seeing the fishies. Can you help me? I would have found it funnier at the time if I hadn't been so exhausted and all I wanted to do was see the fishies. The world bosses in about 13 different characters. My heart sinks when something drops or bonus rolls until I realize it's nothing decent. Okay, so I'm hearthing out of here. Switching over. Dragon Soul with the offset lock shoulders makes my male dwarf priest look like a cult leader for Nzoth. I've had Invincible since Kata era, but still no ashes. It is okay, Softy, that you don't have ashes. I just want to put that out in the world, because every time I mention that after this I want to do ashes, people on the stream, in my guild, on the street, at my dentist, everybody's like, hey, you don't have ashes yet? How come you don't have ashes yet? I thought you played WoW. And I'm like, it's a rare mount. I haven't been farming it this whole time. I've been busy collecting 1,300 rabbits. What do you want from me? It's okay to not have some things yet. It was just funny how often that kept coming up. People like, you don't have ashes yet? How do you not have ashes yet? Weird. Do you recall the name of the video you posted about lockout sharing? I'd love to skip right to the Lich King 2. Let me just pull up a link for you. Wasn't that long ago. The exact name of it, let's see here. While I do this quickly. Videos. This is my monitor. Way the heck over here. It is called ICC Lockout Sharing Guide. And here, now that I have pulled it up, I can get a link. There you go. Have you watched How to Train Your Dragons? If you haven't, you should. So good. I have seen the first one. I know there's a new one coming out. I don't know when it's out. I don't have it yet. I don't know if I'm supposed to have watched that yet. But I do have the first one. I have seen the first one, rather. Do you keep your main character that's holding the lockout inside ICC, or do you leave the instance before you're else do the run? The character that is holding the lockout does not need to stay inside. I think it's actually important that it doesn't. Mine sits in Stormwind and has not been out to Icecrown in months. It stays in Stormwind. Partially Blind would love to get the audio description option here, but we can't get it. Oh, that sucks. I was like, what I think they should have done is just, it's great that they have the option. Add it as an option that you can turn on with the regular movie. Include it. I mean, charge an upgrade fee if you must, but just make the movie accessible, and then make it so that if we got that movie and we don't want it, we can turn it off or turn it on as needed. I think that would have been much better. I did get to see Nemo. I did get to watch with Fishies, so that was something. What's your rarest mount? In terms of just people that have it, probably my Swift Spectral Tiger. Probably this guy. I got that. I bought it for gold. I bought it for, in Warlords, I believe I paid somewhere in the 800 to 900k. I actually haggled a little bit with the person selling it, which was unheard of for me. I'm typically very afraid of doing that, but I figured it would be better to buy it from them directly so that the auction house didn't take like 100,000 gold cut. Kicking this character. Uninvite. But yeah, that's probably the rarest one I have, even though it's not like hard to get to drop. It was the most gold I'd ever spent on something, and I also had to find it up and talk to the person. For actual drop mounts, I don't think I have anything that's super crazy. Nothing too insane. I hate it when my dentist taunts me for not having mounts when they're drilling into my mouth, causing bloodlust and pain. Yeah. No. My dentist, every time I'm in there, is always just trying so hard to understand what I do, because they seem really curious about it, but they're just like, so is it for games? Like, yeah, it's for World of Warcraft. They're like, isn't that game really old? And I'm like, yeah. You're not wrong. It's okay. We still love it. Some people still play. Okay, we're going to the Upper Spire. Some of us are still farming Invincible. Third one is how to come soon. Oh, okay. Third one's coming soon. Watch the second movie if you like the first, and the third is coming next year. I see. I gotta catch up then. Just like on Netflix. You shouldn't have to buy 2 movies to show your blind friend a movie. Yeah. I just used your guide for Algalon. It worked first try. Oh, the lockout share for Algalon? Because if it was an Algalon specific guy, then it probably wasn't me, because I haven't done that. Actually, I haven't even farmed that one yet. Do you have the pond nail yet? No. I keep meaning to farm that, but it keeps being pushed down my list. That might be a thing that I come back to on Fridays when I can't bring myself to do anything else, because it's kind of a nice thing to do on stream. Do you use anything to try and track how many kills of things like the Lich King or KT you have, just to see how bad or good your luck is? Yes, I have rarity, and I have it set up now to actually put in the chat log how many times I've tried. You guys just can't see because my chat log is hidden behind my my camera, and you can't see the mouse over tooltip rarity thing because the mouse over tooltip is hidden behind my fish cam. Let's check out my fish. How you doing, buddy? At least he's real good. I've been taking for granted how brave that fish is, now that I have other fish that are very shy and skittish. Flutta is not afraid of you. Flutta wants to fight you. You sit in front of the tank, and Flutta is like, well, you're gonna feed me, and if you're not gonna feed me, I'm going to end you. He's trying to go, like, all the time. But at least his fins are doing a lot better, so at least it's not everything going wrong. His fins are almost completely recovered. He still splits them in spots, but there's really no way to stop him from doing that. Eventually, he may get old and chill out some, but aside from that, he seems to be doing better, especially now that I've stopped messing with his tank, so I think the best thing to do is just keep his water real clean and otherwise do nothing. And he's doing good. He especially likes Saturdays, because Saturdays are bloodworm days. And I tried giving some to the new fishies, but they were still too shy. Tips for the endless hauls. Not especially. I went to the dentist today, tried your tactic of counting in another language, and it helped a lot. Ooh, I told that story a long time ago. Thankfully, I haven't needed it recently, but it is good. I wish I could speak Walish. You can speak Walish if you believe in your heart. I heard there's going to be a Toy Story 4? Have we gone through 3 of them already? I guess we have. Any update in the baking stream status? Still offline until I replace my PC. PC replacement is looking tentative for September-ish, based on the fact that I'm waiting for new NVIDIA cards and the second generation of the Ryzen Threadripper processors. Once those 2 things are out, then I will either build or purchase or beg somebody to give me a PC. Probably build or purchase, because I don't want to deal with companies for a little bit. It's going to be, like, nothing went wrong. All of the sponsorships went off perfectly fine. It's just a lot of, I'm having, you know what it is I'm having the best time being able to check my email every morning, and it doesn't matter what's in there because I don't know anything to anybody. That's the best feeling. Like, I can get a bunch of emails and I can just delete them all. Every single one of them. Oh, gosh. Got the pond needle 625 tries. As a newcomer, 920, one of the most satisfying experiences to me in WoW soloing Mythic Siege of Org last week. I haven't even done that myself. That's something that we should probably enjoy. Hopefully they do eventually get to tuning old raids post stat squish on beta and 8.0 PTR, but it's still looking a little scary. Just bought the Arcadian War Turtle. Nice. Husband got the Astral Cloud Serpent first try and gave it to me. Oh, that's really sweet. I run this place 15 times a week for nearly 6 months, still don't have the mount. 15 times a week is impressive. That is more stamina than I have. I just want your opinion real quick. I have everything at 110, but I want a new raid tune. I want to be able to have 2 roles if needed, like DPS and heals, or DPS and tank, or all 3. So, play a paladin. I mean, there's other classes that, like, druid can also tank DPS and heal, but I think as a paladin, like doing like the prot ret thing, like I think that if you think you're going to spend more time wanting to tank and be melee, and still have the option of healing, but maybe less time healing, then play a paladin, because a lot of your tanking and your ret gear, like trinkets and whatever, can have a little bit of overlap. If you feel like you mostly want to heal and DPS, priest is a really good option for that. I really like the Shadow Priest, Holy Priest split. You could also be a druid, and you could do like Resto Druid, Boomkin, and then if you decide that you want to, you can go bear tank. There's options for days, but I would do either a paladin or a priest, depending whether you prefer melee or ranged. But that's just me. It's really hard to give, like, there's no right answer for what anybody should play, so whenever I give answers, I'm really just making up stuff that sounds good, because that's really the best anybody can do for you. Except for your raid leader, if they have, like, a place they need to fill. What am I doing? I am getting out of this raid, logging off, and starting over again. Does your fish know any tricks? He knows the jump up and try to bite my finger when I'm feeding him. I haven't taught him how to hand feed. I'm a little bit afraid to. He's just a tiny betta fish, but he's like real feisty. But no, he doesn't really know any tricks. You can get him to swim up to the top to his feeding spot by making it look like you're about to feed him, but I don't think that's a trick. I think that's just a fish thing. Hello, Hazel. Did I just catch a stream live for the first time? I'm so glad. Love watching you. Good luck for your mount farm today. Thank you. Will you do an updated video on the add-ons you use? Purple bar below your Gnosis cast bar and your priest. So that is a weak aura. I believe the weak aura has now been turned into a separate add-on altogether. It was Twin Top's Insanity Bar, and there are sticky links to it in the How To Priest Discord. So you go to the How To Priest Discord, which is linked on the How To Priest website, which is howtopriest.com. It should also be on that website. Go to the Shadow Priest section, check out the pinned messages, find the one for Insanity Bar. That's the one. It's very good. Yes, all server drop rates are the same. You have the same chance to get a mount on a PvP server or an RP server. Do you think Invincible will drop faster? No. Mount drops have been on a separate loot table, so changing the loot structure, personal loot, legacy loot's not going to matter. It's going to be the same chance as it always was. Is there something worthwhile to do with the marks that drop in ICC? You can trade them for tier that will have transmog. If you already have all the tier, then no, you just vendor them. I mean, you could trade them for tier and then wait for the vendor period to expire and then vendor those for slightly more gold, but who has time for that? Okay. Alright, so I still haven't told you guys my third piece of news. It's less WoW related, but it's really exciting. So, also on Saturday, because Saturday was like the day of big things. We went out shopping for like 5 hours in the morning looking for the right plants for this tank. We went to 5 different pet stores. And we were just out all morning. And then we had a really good morning. It was a really nice day out. I had a good time. And come back, and we do like the, check the mail. I had more plants that were in the mail. The BlizzCon ticket thing was on Saturday. And the other thing that was on Saturday that came in my mail was my 10-year permanent resident card. I am able to cross borders again. I can get my library card. I can apply for a driver's license once I've finished reading the manual and learning all the stuff because it's been a while. I can travel without worrying about being deported. I can get a credit card. That was one thing that I tried to do that they wouldn't let me have. We're finally through that. We didn't even have to do another interview. They didn't need any more money. We'd finally given them my fingerprints enough times. And I'm good now. I'm so happy. I'm so relieved that I'm good until 2028. Woohoo to me. Alright, what am I doing? I am waiting for leader to pass over. What mount are you looking forward to the most in BFA? Right now, the parrot with the hook claw, but it could change at any moment. I named my dog Hazel when I found you. I was super excited. Sorry for spelling. All good. Hazel's a good dog name. I have a friend that's one of his family dogs is named Hazel. Just coincidentally, but it's a good name. I'm at 158. Wondering if there's anything I can do to get my mount numbers up. I'm stuck at what mounts to go for. I would check out your collection on a tool like Simple Armory, because you can see the mounts that you're missing kind of split up by their sources. I think all the things may also do that. So this is all the things. You can go into mounts and you can see where they're from. So I would start by going into vendor mounts, see what you don't have and see what you can buy them for. Because some of them you may be able to buy with gold. Some of them you may be able to buy with rep. So for example, I can see here that if I actually went and did the Kirin offensive, which is what Nyla Thunder rep, I would be able to just buy a golden dire horn that I don't have. So the vendor section is a really good place to start in all the things, or you can also look that up in Simple Armory. There's like quests, that's another one that's not too hard. Achievement mounts, some of those are easier than others, but like looking through the things that you don't have, figuring out where they're from. I just really wish this had more. I really wish that all the things had more info on where it was from. That's my one thing that I would really appreciate from there. Okay, I am removing this druid from the group. Need to click more accurately. I am going raid difficulty normal 25. Good. Speaking of removing people from groups, I just want to throw something out in the world and clear the air just in case this happens to any of you. So over the last couple of days, and probably for the next like week or two, I have been doing Argus World Quests with my husband. And so we'll run around in a group, just the two of us, and we'll do a bunch of world quests. And whenever we get to a world quest that would be better with more people, so basically all of them, whenever we get to like a rare elite world quest, I list us. Hang on. Did I do that right? I don't think I did that right. It was like normal, and now it's heroic. Is this character just broken? This happened to me last week. I swear I'm doing the same thing. No, he's defeated. What's wrong with my hunter? This happened last week. I checked before I walked in, and I'll check the tape later, but it was normal 25. I had removed the other character. The lockout's fine on that character. So now it says 25 heroic. Raid difficulty. Normal, 25. And I zone in. My hunter's just broken. I don't know what I need to do in this character, but something. Alright, so now we're in 25. And now we put it up to heroic. But there's no accept lockout there. I think there's an accept lockout otherwise. Your instance lock. It says that he's killed. Like, I'll go look, but I'm pretty sure he did. I don't know what happened there. Anyways, my husband and I have been doing world quests on Argus the last couple days. I'm the leader of the group. It's just the two of us. So we get to a rare. I list us, and more people join the group. Usually after the rare dies, people will leave because that's the end of the quest, and that's that. But sometimes people just don't leave the group. They just kind of assume it's going to disband. And I don't want to, like, have both of us leave the group and re-invite each other every time, because it's just a lot more clicking. So I have been removing people from those groups after the world quest that they joined for is done. Like, I created the group with the world quest name. We do the quest. After it's done, if they're not out of the group within, like, a minute, I usually kick them so that we can start the group for the next quest whenever we've gone to there. So if you join a world quest group that has me in it, and I remove you, it's not personal. It's just because the quest is over, and I don't want to remake the group. Good job, Hazel. Go get that library card. I'm getting WoW. Don't know what is a good class to start. I always say, yeah, no, Lich King very dead. Something's up with that. I always say if you're brand new, go for a hunter. Hunters they have pets. They're good, easy to start with. They're good damage still. You've got a couple of different ways to do damage. You've got a lot of utility. I always think Hunter's a good starting point. Grasping your 10-year resident card, now you can go visit your family. Welcome to America. You got here. Hazel, a criminal? No, I'm an immigrant. There's a difference. Grasping your resident card, my best friend is Canadian. She had the same sort of issues getting her status. Everything went very smoothly. It's just that it takes a very long time, and the renewal process took like 2 years. So it required a bunch of extensions. I've been legal the whole time. It's just that my green card was expired, and I had like this paper thing that you couldn't really show to anybody. You just had to wait for the good one. So I'm just gonna kind of start the group over again because I don't want to break anything with whatever broke my hunter. And he says, "We'll keep it up. Every spec is viable. Does all the things require a setup? Can you use it straight away? I see you use it a lot. It seems very helpful." I didn't set it up at all. I have done nothing to my all the things. Absolutely nothing. Have you played Demon Hunter? I just started one, really enjoying it on Havoc. I have played some Demon Hunter. I didn't keep my Demon Hunter, actually. I think I deleted it for a character slot when I wanted to make my Void Elf before they added the extra slots. There was like a little interim period, and I was just like, I don't need my Demon Hunter. Get rid of that. I played a little bit of it. I'm just not a melee person. I just don't like being melee. If a class has nothing but melee, I'm probably not going to play it very much. Case in point, my level 34 Paladin. What am I doing? Restarting the group. Do you think they're going to fix the extremely slow leveling from 60 to 80? I've been leveling alts. It takes forever until 80. Do you feel the same? I do feel the same. I don't think they're going to fix it. They might buff it a little bit. They might nerf the grind in that point a little bit at some point, but I think that's very low on their totem pole of priorities right now. Finish your Argus World Quest husband story. I'm a little behind in chat. That was the end of it. The end of it was if I remove you from the group, it's nothing personal, and I'm sorry. But I am continuing to do that. Alright. Pre-main, custom, start, private, list, auto. I wonder what's wrong with my header. Will you be creating a community via the new system in BFA? I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. I really like Discord because I can lurk. I don't have to chat. I can read without chatting. And when I do chat, I chat so infrequently that that's kind of the expectation. In a community, it's not that I don't like talking to you guys, it's that I like doing it within specific windows of time when I've worked myself up to talk to people. I have a lot of anxiety about just being always available, so I try very hard to not make myself always available. I reply to emails once a day, I check Twitter maybe twice a day, like on my own terms. And I understand that's a little weird, but it's how I have to do it for my own mental health. So something that's always available like that you can't appear offline from. And honestly, if I could appear offline from it, I probably would do so constantly. Like I haven't really appeared online since they added appear offline to the game. So I can't say that I really plan to. Is Demonology Warlock going to be as strong as people say, or can I stay as a priest? I don't know. Any luck with Lich King mount drop? Not yet. Hunters are so OP they can kill the Lich King from outside the instance, right? I'm on live. Hazel's taken her germs. Best class to start with, Hunter or Mage? We need female Morgan remodels. What is your favorite priest spec? Shadow. Saw you try to change to normal, but your click did not connect, only closed the window, then you ran into Heroic. Incorrect clicks happen to me a lot. Okay. That sounds like me, and that sounds like the most likely explanation. You are almost certainly right. I was afraid of melee for a long time, then I made a paladin, have loved melee ever since. That was in Kata. But you're like so far up everything's butt. You're like way up in there. You can't see anything. I can't see anything. Why is that Pikachu? What's Pikachu? Where's Pikachu? Pikachu where? Think the voice chat thing in BFA will backfire? Yeah, I'm reserving judgment on that one, but based on how voice chat works in most games that have it, like, there's certainly things like Mythic Plus runs, Arena, rating, voice chat very important. And for those things, people typically use Discord. You can switch to using the in-game, but having it as a default, I don't know. Do you still use the Logitech G600? Yes, I do. Not weird, Hazel. I have social anxiety to the max, and I empathize with you. Thanks for showing your graphics settings last week. It's given me an extra 30 FPS. 30 FPS! Nice! Am I good yet? I am raid difficulty. Normal. Normal 25. Alright. Are you going to update recommendations for good core battle pets? I feel like a lot are being added between 7.3 and Island. Yes. So my plan is that after I have gotten through most to all of the BFA battle pet, like the BFA World Quest pet tamers, which is going to take me some time because I am having a time getting through all the stuff that I want to. Once I get through all of that and I have a good feel for which pets are going to be most needed in BFA, I'm going to update my recommendations for the pets to boost in preparation for BFA. I know I should get on that soon. I'm getting there. Kind of. After BFA, after all the new pets have come out and kind of been, like, sort of settled in, I may do a priority of which pets are the best. But the thing is, I'm awful at predicting which pets are going to be good based on their movesets. I really can't see it ahead of time. You should be able to. I just need to test things and, like, play with them before I actually get a feel for whether or not something's going to be useful for me. So that's not something I'd be able to do ahead of time. And then by the time that it's not ahead of time anymore, you kind of already have your team set up for the tamers. Like, I'm sure we can beat everything with the pets we have now. You kind of have everything already ready to go. So you don't really need to mess with your strategies by incorporating new battle pets because you're already set up, you know? Have you been online long? Almost an hour. How many times you killed the Lich King? I will tell you after this one. It should show me. Somewhere in the 70s or 80s, I think. If you pick your main based on what OP is OP in beta, you'll be nerfed in the first big patch, might not recover. Picking in class based on its damage numbers is always kind of a risky business because hopefully you're planning on playing the class for longer than just a patch or two. And OP classes come and go. I say play something you like. Play something that has a couple of damage specs unless you're really brave and want to be a Shadow Priest. And, you know, something will always be viable. One of your specs will always be useful. Nobody's ever going to be like, you have to delete your character, you can't raid with us. That's never going to happen. Unless, like, if you're in a top-end cutting-edge mythic raiding guild, then sure. But, you know, those people aren't the ones asking what they should play in BFA. They already know. And they probably have like a bunch of alts backed up just in case something else turns out to be the better thing. For almost everybody, pick what you like. It's probably going to be fine. Even if it's not fine, it'll become fine eventually, and there's probably a spec that you can play in the meantime that's going to make things okay. Just don't worry too much. It seems like it's a big deal, and it is, but it's more important for you to play something that you like the look of, you like the feel of, you like the transmog that you can get, you know? Wow, this fight is much faster with poisons. Get out of here, dude. There we go. There we go. Are you good now? He's dead. There used to be a voice chat now. It was done so poorly that my expectations for BFA voice are very low. It was kind of systems poor before, like the sound quality was really bad. I remember it having some lag, I think, in like the once that I used it. And then they added, and you guys remember they added, and maybe this still happens, they added BattleNet chat. They added BattleNet voice. You could get in a group with your BattleTag friends and have a voice server in the launcher. That must still be a thing, because I don't remember them taking it out. I used that a couple of times back in mid-Legion, I think, for arenas. Oh yeah, so this is, we're about to loot them for the 82nd time. 82 is the answer to that question. And it was fine. It's just that everybody, like, would rather use Discord. I don't know. We'll see. Gonna get it today? How can you see how often you kill the Lich King? I'm using an add-on called Rarity. 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 Hi, Hazel. Greetings from Scotland. My first time watching your stream, was wondering if you run other places for mounts or just ICC. Lately, just ICC. In general, outside of this, I have been kind of doing half-heartedly Throne of the Four Winds. I have been doing a little bit of Tempest Keep. Every now and then I pop into Zul'Gurub and try for the Raptor mount. We were doing Vault of Archivon. We got all the Vault of Archivon mounts. I recently finished all my Dragon Soul mounts. So I am kind of working on other stuff. I really want to get this one done as much as you can get Invincible done. Overwatch built-in voice chat's pretty good. Depends on your definition of good. It works very well. How'd you get to the end so fast? Lockout sharing. I have a lockout up to the Lich King that I use across all of my alts, and I have a video called ICC Lockout Sharing Guide that tells you exactly how to do it. Do you like hunters? I do. Red Pal, always fun. Pick the character with the cutest butt, because that's what you're going to be looking at for 10 years. Can you show us Kira? I think she left. I'd have to get up. Maybe when I get up. Is it weird that my first ever video game is WoW when I was 4? The last month of Wrath. I don't think it's weird. I think it's going to make some people feel a little old. How do you heal the dragon? Close the portal before you finish that fight? You can heal the dragon with... I mean, I'm a priest, so you just heal it. You don't have to do the dragon. You can actually bypass it now. So if you are clearing the raid and you are on a character that cannot heal, you don't have to. You can just skip right past it. But I haven't been re-clearing the raid in a while because I've been able to share my lockout. So this was loot number 82. Nothing there. Remember the global channel? That was obnoxious, all the trolls. Just came back to the game after Warlords released, picked a Demon Hunter after I unlocked the flying and the allied races and going back to my warrior. I agree, nerf S-Priests. Sup, Flabby? How you doing? Am I stuck in a corner? No, I'm good. Does Speedify work in Canada? Internet was slow up there, it worked for me. I don't live in Canada anymore, so I don't know. I've been in America, Oregon, for 3 years now? 3 or 4 years? 3 or 4 years. Somewhere in there. The Battle Cat still in Zul'Gurub, the Panther is, the Tiger isn't. Correct. I want you to get Invincible so you don't have to answer the lockout share question anymore. It's good info to have. Like, if somebody's been farming Invincible... If somebody's been farming Invincible by clearing the whole raid over again, and I'm sure there are people that do that, it's a nice thing to know how to do. You can use the engineering item to heal her. Just ran 4 miles, but I feel better now watching the stream. Thank you, Hazel. I mean, did you run 4 miles on purpose? Because if that's like your workout, then that's awesome. And I feel like it's been a while since I've run, but for the most part, it sucked and it hurt, but it was like a good feeling after. I at least felt like I'd done something. If you ran 4 miles when you didn't plan to because you were running from like a bus or a bear or something, then that's very unfortunate. First video game was Pong. I'm old. I'm trying to think of what my very first video game was. I remember watching my dad play flight sims in his garage. That was really boring. I didn't play those. He had like World War fight sims. Flight sims. I shared a copy of Pokemon Blue with my sister. We had one Game Boy. We had 2 Game Boys, but the one game cartridge, and it could only have one save file, so we had to share the same save file. With my sister when I was probably 5 and she was 7, I think. Somewhere around there. I'd have to double check the years that those things came out, but I remember Pokemon Blue. That was a very early one. And then I had some educational games on my computer, and I remember playing on my computer, we had this PC game, and it was called Stay Tuned. It was by Funnybone. The company doesn't exist anymore. The game doesn't work anymore. I can't even explain to you what it was. There was, like, different places. There was different types of mini games that were, like, spoofs of other games. There's one called Cartoon Combat that was, like, my favorite. That had, it was basically a spoof of Mortal Kombat, but it was, like, pretty good. For, you know, child me. Tiny child me. And I'm real sad that I can't get that to work again, because that would be, like, the ultimate nostalgia for me. And then the other thing that I actually played a bunch of, I mean, I had, like, old Harry Potter games. Like, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I had that on PC. Those models were awful. There was one more. There was one more game that I spent a lot of time playing. What was it? Oh! Muppets Inside. I had Muppets Inside on CD-ROM. It was a Muppet game, and the whole shtick was that the Muppets were inside your computer, so they were riding around, like, the data bus, and, you know, picking up other Muppets and, like, fighting viruses and stuff. Did any of you guys play that? That game was awesome. Canada's actually in America, too. US are not the whole content. Around here, North America is used to refer to the continent, and if you're just saying America, 99 people out of 100 are going to assume that you're talking about the United States of America. That's just the local vernacular. Do you have Glory the Legion Raider? Probably not. Super Mario Bros. And the Nintendo. My first was Super Mario 3 on NES. I wanted a Nintendo 64 really badly as a kid because my friends had it and we would play Pokemon Stadium and I thought that was the coolest thing. And I was also under the false impression that Pokemon Stadium was a full Pokemon RPG. I thought that the battling thing was just one thing, that you could go play like a proper Pokemon game on a console. That was like my dream. And I never got the Nintendo 64, but we got the GameCube eventually. And I played Pokemon Coliseum on that, and that was a horrible disappointment. I was like stealing other people's Pokemon? That wasn't okay. Alright. Uninvite this character. Raid difficulty, normal. 25. Good. Hello, Hazel. Hello. Pac-Man in the fish and chip shop while waiting for my order. Were the fish and chips good? Game Boy Advanced? Game Boy Color. Game Boy Color. I had a purple one. My sister had a green one. I did later get a Game Boy Advanced, but Game Boy Color was the OG. I never had one before that, though. Game Boy Color was my earliest one. Raid difficulty, heroic. First game was Zack and Dexter, Sorcerer's Stone PC, Defender on Atari, Ratchet and Clank. I boosted a Monk last night, now have 7 110s and feel like I'm cheating on my main, but I gotta explore my options. Explore your options. And then the other nice thing is that it's okay to have alts that you don't actively play, because they're great for stuff like this. Stuff like doing multiple characters for Family Familiar, farming pet charms on multiple characters, farming Marks of Honor if you want, like, PvP transmog. There are always good things to do with a bunch of alts that you can just park somewhere and do something like that with. It's okay to level alts that you don't plan on playing, because they're good for this kind of thing. Will Rarity show you how many attempts you had before you downloaded the add-on, or just the ones after? It depends on what type of thing it is. For Lich King runs and other boss kills, it typically counts all of them, because those things are tracked in your statistics, so it pulls that number out of your statistics, and it shows you all of your attempts. For things like the Paragon rep mount caches, like the Gift of the Valarjar, that, like, supplies from the whoever the heck. With those ones, it does not count the previous ones, because I can see using, not that I have the add-on to this one, but I can see using, what is that add-on called, actually? Exalted Plus, that I have opened that Valarjar cache, like, 30 times, across a couple of characters, but it only thinks that I've done it, like, 5 times, because those are the times that I've done it after having installed Rarity. So, bosses, yes, other things, no. It's the same thing in Canada, but when we say America, we mean the US, yep. My first game was either Webkins, Purple Palace, or WoW, because my dad and his Blood Elf obsession. Oh, that's your Blood Elf obsession, I see. Lemmings was my first game. When you mentioned Harry Potter, all I can think of is that kid who voice acted Harry shouting Flipendo every 5 seconds. I forgot about Flipendo. I think that one was just in the games, right? Was Flipendo ever in the books? Because I want to say it wasn't. I want to say that did not happen. Your first game was Quest for Glory, Pong on a Beanatone. First time getting on a stream. Welcome to the stream, Gunnar the boy. Why I thought you have a pink one? Gender stereotypes, that's why. I mean, purple is still fairly feminine. Played BC when I was 7 or 8. Played is a very generous term. I would make new characters level to 10 or so and then start over. Any tips for an altaholic who wants to be a more serious player? Yes. look at all of your dudes and pick one. I know it's hard. Just pick one. Don't let yourself switch. Don't let yourself switch. Just pick it and start getting stuff on it. The more time you spend with it, the other thing that helps with this is making an effort to really learn about the class and how to do well on it. Like looking at your class resource, getting in the class Discord. But the more committed and the more time you spend with it, the better you're gonna feel about it. It's kind of like being in a long-term relationship, you know. Spending more time with it deepens your appreciation for it. You don't swear. I try not to on stream. Occasionally I slip up with small words. I try not to slip up with big words. It is difficult for me because I swear like a sailor off stream. I don't see a problem with swearing. I just don't want to do so on broadcast. Because, you know, some of you watch with kids. Some of you don't like hearing bad words. That's fine. Not bad words work just fine. But I don't want to mislead anybody. If the camera's not on, I am saying all of the words in a variety of colorful orders. Pronounced Valashar. The J is just kind of slurred, I guess you could say, I believe. I'm kind of just following my heart on that, and I try to switch it up every couple of days so that I'm annoying different people. But I'll be glad when we're out of here so I can stop stressing about it. Hazel, do you get the, oh, you're from Canada? I have a friend, Mike. He lives in Toronto. I finally started replying, oh, Mike, sorry to tell you, he passed away. I actually haven't gotten that yet. Most people just ask if I like syrup. And I'm like, who doesn't like syrup? Everybody likes syrup. It's sugar. It's literally sugar. What else do people ask me? Not much. But I talk to very few people. I'm far more of a hermit than most people know. It's gonna be so weird once you actually get the man. What will we do then? We'll farm a different rate. We'll be sitting here listening to Kel'Thuzad go through his speech like 30,000 times. Hazel swears like a sailor when PvPing too. 100% true. That's one of the reasons why I am very hesitant to do PvP streams, because I don't think I would be able to make them clean. And I don't know if there's enough disclaimers in the world to prepare somebody for Hazel from Hazelnuttygames dropping a bunch of F-bombs while streaming. I just don't think that's going to be okay. I'm here live for once. Welcome, Preston Woody. I finally paid for BFA, but I am not touching it till I finish the bits I want. Before I have a look at it, I will use the 110 level character with my first alliance character, defo be a mage. I don't know when I started, because I started so young, but I would no matter what play a Blood Elf Hunter to like 5, stop and start over with another Hunter. I did something similar. I would play characters like 20 to 40, and then stop and start over back in Wrath when I started. Apparently people that swear a lot are smarter. I mean, I don't know if it's I don't know if it makes you smarter. There may be a correlation, but if I get a cat, I want to name it Fjarnskoggle. The most serious players keep several leveled and fully geared, ready to switch when a balance patch hits. Pick an achievement for a title you want, or something that isn't shared, and shackle yourself to the alt you like the best. How many Hazel characters do you have? That's a good question. There's a couple on different servers. Not counting the ones that I make just to hand out battle pets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus. So that's 10, and then we go to here, and there's going to be number 11, and then that's my horde character, by the way. And then I'm gonna go to here, and that's gonna be number 12. I don't know where to park her. I got my battle horn. I don't know where to put her now. Also, all of this fluffing about is making me probably lose my group. Or I need to restart it. So we need to do these 3 characters. So I'm just gonna make sure my group is still listed. Fishy question, please. Gotcha. I've always wanted a black crowntail betta fish. Never seen them being sold around here. Do you happen to know a good dealer online to buy from? I actually saw, this doesn't answer your question, but I actually saw the most gorgeous black crowntail betta. It was like black, but like metallic, so it was like mostly black with like silver. It was gorgeous at my local fish store. And my husband kind of wanted it, but we didn't get it because we had a tank, but it wasn't set up yet. And every time we go back there, he always looks for it, and it's gone because somebody bought it. And it's funny. But anyways, online dealers. I haven't bought a betta fish online. I will probably buy my next one online because I specifically want a koi betta. And possibly even a fancy koi betta. But my understanding is that you can look on Aquabid, check seller reviews, because some will be better than others. if you do the Aquabid route, you're most often buying directly from Thailand, so you have to deal with a transshipper. There's like a third person that you have to contact, send them your info, pay them whatever amount of money they need from you to ship it then to you. If you want to avoid the whole transshipper thing, something that I haven't done yet, but I've been looking into, so keep in mind I haven't done it, I don't know if I can recommend it or not. eBay. A lot of people, there's some different people on eBay that do the importing for you, so they import a bunch of bettas from Thailand, like the nice ones. And then they have them, and they're acclimated, and they're in the States. You don't have to worry about transshipping. They've already done that. And then you can buy them from there, and you pay the shipping, and they one day ship it to you. So I've been looking, and again, because it's an eBay seller, you want to check the reviews. You want to make sure that everybody's getting their fish in good shape, and that it's a real thing, and you want, like, stellar reviews. But that's my best bet. That's what I'm probably going to do when I decide to get another betta fish one day. But I haven't tried it yet, so maybe it's awful. But eBay is my best bet. WoW Classic plans? I plan to not play it. I was a sailor for 6 years, bet you would have a hard time keeping up with my cursing? Quite possibly. I've managed to avoid spoilers too. All the people when I headed to Tank Dungeons for the first time. I'm gonna do a set of dungeon guides, so you're gonna have a bunch of videos to not watch to not spoil yourself, because I am planning on hopefully getting through that. I am heading... Oh, I need to join the group, that's right. I always pressed the wrong button. Pre-made, custom, find this one. Why are there so many people in there? Oh well, I'll kick the other one. Was you on an EU server yesterday? Yesterday, no. What do you use all the different servers for? So every month, I do a Patreon Battle Pet giveaway where I pick a bunch of winners from people that are eligible in my Patreon, people that support me financially on Patreon. And I pick a bunch of winners, figure out a pet that they don't have, get it leveled up, get it sent to them. And they're across all sorts of different servers, so I have to make a character on their server, do a quest on each server to get the copper that I need to mail the pet, and then mail out the pet. So that's why I have so many servers with just one character on them. That's what that's from. As far as just other characters, I used to just server hop a lot. I used to, like, set myself up on a server and then play for a while and then find somebody to play with on a different server and start over. I never really transferred. I mostly just started over, fresh. I did that a bunch of times in my youth. People who curse usually have a higher IQ. They're not concerned with censoring themselves as much. Are considered word enhancers. They have more time to think about more important things. Well, I do spend a lot of time censoring myself for stream. Veller, it's hard to say. Everyone knows exactly how to say Fjornskoggle. I mean, I've always just assumed that I'm butchering Fjornskoggle, but so is everybody else, so we've all accepted to not bully each other. The most stressful part of maining a tank is not knowing how most other tanks normally pull, usual route through the dungeons. Dungeon routes really got me. Like, when I'm tanking, I go straight. I kill things that look like they're in my way. And often I ruffle some feathers because I'm probably pulling packs that don't need to be pulled because I don't know all of, like, the skip routes. And I don't really have any interest in learning them, which is why I don't really tank. I can leave that to everybody else. Koi betta, you can choose their personality. Koi betta, K-O-I, all it means is it's a marbled betta that has, like, reds and brown, like reds and oranges and some black and white in it that just has koi fish-like colors. It's just a visual thing. The other thing to know about koi bettas is because they're marble genes, their colors will change. Sometimes they will flatten out, so they start out many colors, they become one color. Hard to tell what it's going to turn out to look like, and it will change throughout its whole life, I think, mostly. I don't know. But they're pretty looking. I don't know if I'm going to try and get another longfin betta like Flutta one day, or if I'll just go with a plakat betta, which they have naturally shorter fins. Those ones are easier to keep their fins in good shape anyways. That one, he's in a very safe room, but he still manages to split his because he's just a feisty boy. I don't know how, and that's the other thing, is I don't know how over the median my own betta is for being just absolutely nuts. I don't know how unusual he is. Maybe I get another one that's got long fins and it's just perfectly chill and it'll just, like, hang out and not rip its butt. You know? Alright. Raid difficulty, normal 25. Sounds so pretty. You make me feel better. All my tunes are basically named the same thing, except sometimes I add heals or priest to the end, but it's easy to know it's me and guild. Exactly. Exactly. What am I doing? Raid difficulty, normal 25. Good. Click here. Why, thank you. This is a stunning transmog that we created specifically for the Trial of Style, and I'm appalled that we did not win. My son buys his Mantis online also. They arrive well padded. I've been trying to think about where, and one day, and this is way too early for me to be thinking about, and this is the real reason why I never get anything done, is because I get obsessed with a plan that I can't even do for like 3 years, And I have to figure out all the details, even though I can't do this for years until I get a house. But I've been trying to figure out when I do eventually get goldfish, where I'm going to get them from. I don't know. Dandy Arandas is one thing, but they're like auction based. I don't know. My local fish store has a couple goldfish, but they only had like 3. I want goldfish one day. Thank you for answering me. You're very sweet. No problem. Unless your guides are different, I've yet to see ones that cover those things. They're all just boss guides. Oh no, mine are just going to be boss guides. I'm not gonna learn enough about pulling routes to tell you which things to pull. Mine are definitely going to be exactly like everybody else's. Still haven't unlocked any allied races. Do you know how Culturan humans will be unlocked? I think the world knows. I think that information is out there. I don't know if I know. I don't think I do. I know there's a rep. I think there's probably some questing achievements. I think it's the same. It's probably a rep, a questing achievement, and explore some stuff. No, that's Pathfinder. I don't know. Somebody knows. I don't know. I've been learning so much about fish from your streams. Hi, Hazel. What are you most excited for? Changes all the time. I am really excited to just be in a new place, collecting new stuff, working towards new things. I'm really excited for my guildmates to come back and for us all to go through that like magical early expansion period where we are all farming dungeons together to try and gear up for raid. I love that like 2-month stretch where we're all in Discord every day and, you know, we're all being jealous about whoever got the best piece of Warforging. And I really love that and I'm looking forward to it. I miss those guys. Any idea why my ram's horn snails haven't yet bred? I have 2. I know they become a pair. No baby snails in almost 8 months. If you have 2 ram's horn snails and there are no baby snails in 8 months, I don't know. I haven't had ram's horns. My understanding is that they would breed quite easily. You might need more than 2 to get started. If you want them to breed, so you're presumably going to be ready to have more, I would just get like 3 more. Assuming that you have the space and that you're set up for it. I would just get like 2 or 3 additional ones. Maybe those 2 just don't like each other. You look like a void elf. That's a compliment. Oh, thank you. Why is your icon still hazel with brown hair and not purple? That icon kind of was given to me, which is the only reason why I have a decent one. I'd have to like, I don't know. Changing the icon is a big deal. You're right. I do want it to reflect the purple hair. But what if I end up with green hair next year? Am I going to change my icon every time? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I should just recolor the existing one or if that's disrespectful to the original artist. I don't know if I should commission a brand new one. I don't know if I should just take a picture of myself. I know I need to take new pictures. I mean, I don't need to, but I'm planning on taking new pictures of myself to put in my banner so that I can at least have purple-haired me in the banner. But it's so awkward taking a bunch of photos of yourself, especially, like, it's just me. I'm, like, moving lights around. I have, like, a remote. I'm, like, trying to pose. I'm awful at posing. It's really hard to get a natural-looking picture at me because I don't know what I'm doing. It's a lot of time, and it's just... I have more videos. You can order your goldfish online, a few really reputable companies that do quick delivery. That's the thing I want to figure out, is I want to figure out what are the best options for healthy, well-bred goldfish from people that know and care and specialize in goldfish. Like, I want to get them from the good people. I don't mind paying more as long as I'm doing it for the right people. Is he still eating his fins? I haven't seen any new bite marks in the last couple weeks. He's still splitting them. Like, he flares his fins out too hard and he gets too excited and he splits them. But I haven't seen any new bite marks in like 2 weeks. I've learned enough about fish from you to know that the only fish I want are beer battered and deep fried. It's definitely not for everybody. Ram's horns won't breed unless they eat a lot. Oh, that's a good idea too. Lots of food. How can you reach the keys in the top of your orb river? What kind of human fingers do you have? Spider wins. I'm not huge, but I am 5'10", so I'm a little tall for a woman, and my fingers are proportionate, and also maybe a little long. But I like them. They work. Do bettas fight each other? Would 2 female bettas live peacefully together? There is a thing called a betta sorority where you keep multiple female bettas together, but just because there are multiple females doesn't guarantee that they're going to do really well together. It's still something that needs to be approached carefully. Have you ever thought of making a live cat TV channel? You can keep your fish tank streaming for kitties to watch while their human overlords are out. That would be rough on my internet. While I'm trying to do other stuff, but it's a good idea. Guys, I really want my other big fish tank to just have happy fish that do well. I really hope that, like, we're going tonight to get a couple more, and I just really want them to do good. What's that? Is that good? What is that? Unlocks a dark red light appearance for Blades of the Fallen Prince. Alright. Is that rare? It can't be that rare. I got it. Oh. Huh. Alright. Is that different than what I just had? I didn't look at them before. I'm not a big Death Knight person. He's mostly just in existence to do this achievement. Using his frostworm cruxes or whatever. Oh, it's my hidden appearance. Neat. Why is that off an old boss? I thought they were all new content. I'm confused. Oops. Get around the awkward poses, do a video, move around, grab a screenshot of the most natural looking ones. You should see me trying to get screenshots out, like screen grabs out of my vlogs for the thumbnail. It's actually hilarious and so hard. I swear I can look fairly normal in a video, but like 299 out of 300 frames are me looking like I'm about to die. It's actually shocking. Peach black tea today. I'm doing peppermint. If you need some graphical work, I'll do it for free. I really hate taking advantage of people that like I believe in paying artists. I just need to find one, I guess. Do not have a better sorority, they will not be happy. I think it's definitely for experienced people for the best. Do a search for local fish stores. You'll find some smaller local owned ones. I have been to, I promise you, I've been to every fish store within a 45-minute drive radius. The only one that we haven't been is we have not yet gone to the wet spot in downtown Portland, which I know is like a big one. We haven't been there yet, but we've been everywhere else. We went to, that was basically what we did on Saturday, was driving around to every single different pet store that sold fish. You forgot to change it to Haruk? Oh, did I? Oops. Shoals, not overstock, happy tank. Yeah, I'm hoping to get enough to get them to a good shoal amount. As far as overstocking, I'm getting a lot of conflicting information online about what I should and should not do in a 20 long, assuming that I stay on top of the nitrates. Like I can test them and figure out how often I need to do it to keep them under 20. That's fine. And I have a bunch of plants in there, and there's a lot of swimming space. But because it's my first tank, some people are like telling me that I can do a lot. Some people are telling me that I should barely do any. And the plan that I have right now, that I've been using a tool called AQ Advisor, which is not completely reliable, but it's a good starting point, says that in my 20-gallon long, so bear in mind this tank is 30 inches long, it's a foot deep, and it's a foot tall, should be able to, theoretically, according to this, do 7 cherry barbs, 6 panda corridoras, 1 Bolivian ram, and maybe 1 honey gourami. That's kind of like my plan. If I have room for more, I would add like another 1 or 2 Cories or another 1 or 2 cherry barbs, depending on who needs more to feel chill. But it's a little bit, like if you go inch per gallon, it's a little bit overstocked. But inch per gallon doesn't take into account whether like the bioload of each fish. Some of them don't produce as much waste. Some of them aren't very messy. And also things like what's taking nitrates out of the water, like all of the live plants. It's a pretty heavily planted tank. And how often that you want to do water changes. I think swimming space, it should be fine. I think it's just a matter of keeping on top of water changes, which I feel confident for. But again, it's my first tank, and I could be just feeling beginner's confidence. It's really hard to say. What am I doing? I must be I'm not the group leader? What's happening here? Let's start over. let's just start over. We got like one more character to do. Start. Do. Private list. Auto. I used to live in Portland. Artist, 99 designs. Excellent work. The wet spot. Yes, that is the name of the big Portland fish store. There's one that's not in Portland, but not too far, that I've been going to, called the World of Wet Pets. That's where I got these fish from. Not him. He's actually a PetSmart beta, and I don't think I'm going to buy any more fish from a PetSmart. But that's where I got like my shrimp from, and the snail that's in Flatus tank, as well as the cherry barbs. So far, everything up until the cherry barb that died, everything else has been doing perfectly. Oh, I have 2 more characters to do. And the people have been very helpful and very knowledgeable, so I've been happy with them. I specialize in drawing busts if you want me to PM you somewhere with what I've done. PMing me is actually very difficult. I have private messages shut down almost everywhere. Send me an email. Hazelnuttygames@gmail.com. That's probably the best place to do it. I dropped to 5 places just to find a popsicle tray. Did you find it? Did you find your popsicle tray? I hope you got one. I have a gummy bear mold now that I used to make algae shrimp bears, or algae snail bears, and I haven't actually made any gummy bears for us yet. I assume you use OBS to stream. Is there anything else you use that makes a smooth stream? Just OBS. I have a video going over my settings and like how to determine your bitrate and encoding settings. But I'm not actually convinced that my stream is all that smooth. I hope it's good. It's supposed to be 1080/60, and I don't think it lags too often. But the VoDs never come out quite as clear as I think they should, so I don't know what's up with that. 1 gallon per inch of fish. I mean, that's a starter rule, but there's a lot of places where it doesn't apply. Like, you could have a 10-inch, like a 10-gallon tank, and if you stick a 10-inch goldfish in there, you're gonna have a real bad time. Alternatively, in that same 10-gallon tank, you can probably get like 10 inches of ember tetra in there, and you probably have room for more because they're like tiny little fish flakes that even if you get a bunch of them, they don't have that much bioload. I am leading this group. I am going raid normal 25. Good. Current favorite kind of tea to have iced. Lately, iced green tea. I have like this green tea with coconut and lemongrass that is very refreshing when iced, because I can drink them straight. But I've been meaning to make some iced black tea because it has been getting very warm here in the afternoons. Do you have all the Paragon mounts from the rep chests? No, I have almost all of them. I am missing the Valor one. I'm missing the Valorhar one. I'm missing it. I don't have it. I want it very badly. I do those dailies in 2 characters and it drives me nuts. You don't have one already? Get an aquarium python? I'm planning to one day when I set up my goldfish tank. But right now, it's only a 20 gallons, so I can do it in like 2 big buckets. And my sink doesn't fit the python. My sink doesn't fit the python. The faucet's weird in this place. It's got a weird faucet. But definitely for my house with my goldfish tank one day. Because if I'm doing like a 100 to 125 gallon tank, I'm going to need one. It's happening. My friend is an avid fish keeper. One of the fish he bought and I really didn't like was the garfish. It looks like a dinosaur. Gars are so beautiful. Like, they need so much room. That's not a fish that I'm really ever going to be able to keep, but they're so cool. Red difficulty. Like, especially like an albino one, they look like, you're right, they look like dinosaurs, but how is that not awesome? Will you be using a filter or a sump? So I have, I'm glad you asked, I have a big sponge filter in addition to a AquaClear 50 hang-on-back filter that is filtering at 100 gallons per hour. Is it 100 or 150? I checked it out. It's the AquaClear 50. It's on full blast. And I took out the carbon to add more filter media to the filter basket, and I also added a pre-filter sponge. So there is a ton of filtration. There's a ton of room for beneficial bacteria. And I'm feeling good about the filtering. I don't have a sump. It's just the AquaClear 50 hang on back and then a big sponge filter. Have you tried the barley tea iced? No, I've been meaning to, actually. I didn't actually like it hot that much, so I think I do need to make a picture of it iced. I'm newer to your Mount Run streams. When did the fish tank fascination start? Probably 2 months ago or so. It's been kind of ramping up. I go through phases like this where I get a little bit too into a thing, and it's all I can talk about for a while. This will probably pass eventually. I'll still have the fish, and I'll still take good care of them, but I will probably eventually become less obsessed, and you guys won't have to listen to me talk about fish for so long. Hopefully. But I'm just warning you, after it's fish, it's going to be something else. There's always going to be something with me. That's just how it is. I really wish I could just make the thing that I'm obsessed with, making videos, because I love making videos. I do it all the time. But it's not getting me out of bed in the middle of the night to check on it, right? Like, I got up really early because I was just having nightmares about my fish. When will you admit that wine slushy is the superior beverage? I have never tried a wine slushy, but I want to now. Solid Gold Aquatics. I've watched a whole bunch of Solid Gold Aquatics. I actually have her, a couple of her website guides bookmarked for when I do get around to goldfish. I will look for your video on that. My other YouTube account is for my gaming. I want to clean it up. Thank you. Why do Americans insist on messing with perfectly fine tea? Oh, I need to focus on this. This character is not enough gear to do this properly, like really well, so I need to actually make sure I don't get knocked off. I should probably see the corruption this guy's on instead of like individually corruptioning them. Might be better. At least my Agni is still up. Is that lady gonna do anything bad to me, or are we good? I know that the orb, the ice orb, will knock you. That thing, you need to make sure the ice sphere doesn't touch you. Which is fine. But I think we're good. It's not that I can't do it in this character, it's just that I have to pay slightly more attention because I can get knocked off, and I have done so before. Alright, let's see if the 84th time is a charm. Hi again, Hazel. Hey, Kitten Fluffy. How are you doing? A lot of people make the mistake of washing the media in tap water. Don't use the water. Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to wash it in something that's got chlorine or any kind of antibacterial because you're just nuking your colony. Just gently swish in your tap water that you're disposing of. Same thing that I do with the moss ball. Every, like, third or fourth water change, because I do pretty often water changes because of those fins, but, like, once a week or so, I will squeeze out that moss ball in old tap water. The other thing is that you want to make sure that when you are cleaning your filters, don't do everything at once. Don't over clean at once. Like, clean, but space it out. Like, clean one sponge 1 week, leave it for a week, clean another sponge, leave it for a week, clean the sponge filter. Don't do everything all at one time. You don't want to, like, kill too much of your bacteria and then cause your tank to cycle again. How are you not one-shotting Arthas? This character has no gear. I'm level 826, that's why. I recently finished leveling this character just to stick out here at the Lich King, and she didn't get a whole lot of gear. She did not get much. Stores across the road are selling slush puppies for kids and a vodka shot version for adults. Do you have the lockout? I do. I have a feeling Invincible will drop from my gut. I hope you're right. I just stand at the bottom of the steps. I found you because of your stream 2 days ago. Now I'm hooked. Welcome to the stream. I remember from the last one, actually. I'm good. Awesome as always. You're a beautiful fish and your horrific kitty. Old tank water, not tap water. Yes. She used Destro on transmog runs way quicker. Oh, really? Probably true. Probably true. Are you getting the auctioneer mount? Yes. The question is when. Right now, I have just under 2 million gold. And part of me really wants to get the spider mount now, while it's still the same expansion that the spider mount came in, and then start from scratch on the auctioneer mount. I don't know yet. I'm still thinking it over. I actually was messing around with the auctioneer mount on beta and noticed a couple of funny things about it. Nothing too important, just silly stuff, but I have a video of a couple of silly things about the auctioneer mount that I want to put out. What are the dots on the ground? Those are something that I'm doing. They're something warlocky. I don't know. I never play this character. I have a 60+ gallon seawater fish tank once. It was a lot of work to maintain. Salt water terrifies me. So much RP. Affliction has the AoE talent that kills all the ads. Good for old content. Hey, I'm revered with the Ashen Verdict. Look at that. Not this one. That's okay. We have one more run to try. One more. One last one. Just watched your Midsummer Festival video. Great help. Thank you. No problem. I knew something like that is not going to matter to a whole lot of people because some people are already done and most people aren't farming blossoms, and some people are farming blossoms but already knew that it's a good idea to get add-ons. But I figure if there's even like 1 or 2 people that were doing the same thing that I was and doing it without an add-on, it's good to share. I've been so stubborn for so many years on that. What other healing specs would you recommend if I really enjoy Mistweaver? Mistweaver healing is a little bit different than other types of healing, honestly. The only 2 healers that I've really played a lot in Legion are a Holy Priest and Resto Druid, and I take the words a lot very lightly. Those are the only 2 that I really know what I'm doing in, so maybe somebody else can tell you which is closest. Remembers me now to water my plants. I'll be back to check on your fish in 2 minutes. Best of luck with your plants. I need to, actually, related to plants, I need to get I have 3 tomato plants on my balcony. 2 of them have cages because I grew 2 tomatoes last year. I need another tomato cage. One of them's just fallen over. It's windy out there, it's just fallen over. I need another tomato cage, but I don't want to go all the way to the garden store to buy 1 tomato cage, but I should. They're souls from your artifact weapon? I'm just, like, dropping souls on the ground? That's rude. You need to use them for your 10% damage increase? Oh. Lockout. You're gonna have a mount with an entire city on their back. Wish I had found handy notes years ago. Thank you for the upload. I was hoping Candy Buckets was good too, but the handy notes thing was really nice just because of the mini map icon. That really helps for like narrowing down exactly where you're getting to. I never understood how to get the lockouts to share to my other characters. So I have a video. Here, I'll link it again. I still have it pulled up on my other monitor. This video tells you exactly how to do it for Ice Crown Citadel for ICC. I don't know if it works. Somebody said they got it to work for Algalon. I don't know if I haven't tested that. But that's how I do it for this raid. That's exactly what I'm doing here, more or less. The only thing that I'm doing differently than in that video is now, these days, lately, in order for the group to not disband or go offline, I log straight onto the next character without leaving the group, join it, and then after league passes, I kick the character that just ran it. That's the only difference. Holy Priest is pretty spam-oriented, as are most. I main a Mistweaver, but Holy Heals has to be my best. I didn't know you had a video for it. Do you ever encounter creative blocks as a YouTube content creator? That's a good question. I don't encounter creative blocks as in, like, I don't know what video to make, because I have always had lists with, like, between 10 and 100 video ideas that I'm really excited about doing. I have always had a huge backlog of videos that I want to make. I have, however, had a lot of days, especially lately, not even lately, but like over the last 6 months, it comes and goes, but I've had a bunch of time where I'm just having a really hard time, and this is the silliest and most first world problem, but like working alone, and like I live with my husband, it's just us, and he works during the day and I work alone, and I don't really go out much, and like having my only recreation place be the same as my workplace, and having both of them be fairly isolated. Like, I hang out with my husband here and there, but we don't really, like, up until this week when he started playing WoW with me, we didn't really play the same games. So he'd be over there playing Path of Exile or whatever, and I'd be in here playing WoW. It was hard to get in a good workspace and stay motivated sometimes. Comes and goes. Good days, bad days. Also, I'm very easily derailed by stress. I can start by having a great day, and then something happens that stresses me out, and it's just really hard to get back on track. But I'm working on it. Yesterday was really sad because my little fishy boy had died. Okay, raid difficulty. Normal, 25. Resto if you don't mind spamming HOTS. Best advice for new WoW players? Make friends with your resources. Figure out where... No, leave instance. At least I noticed that I hadn't... I didn't... I meant to, but I didn't actually. So raid difficulty, normal, 25. Because it put me in a 25 Huruk. What's up with that? I'm doing this... I didn't accept the lockout, so when I go into my raid info... I can't go into my raid info. Why can't I go in my raid info? Why can't I do that? I'm very confused. I might just start this group over again if that happens again. What's happening? Raid difficulty, normal, 25 player. And then we zone in. It should say accept the lockout for normal 25, like it always does. Yeah, 11 to 12, ICC 25. Except, I must have just not clicked it properly before. Raid difficulty, Huruk. There we go. Yeah, make friends with your resources. Get used to Wowhead. Get used to Discord. Find your class Discord. Figure out where to go for answers when you have questions, and then don't be afraid to use them. There's a lot of really good info out there that will make your WoW life much easier. So just, if you're ever doing something you're like, this is a little bit too hard, just look around to see if anybody has any advice. Does the amount only... Yeah, so you enter on normal, and then you bump it up to Huruk, you accept the new lockout, and then you're good. Otherwise, otherwise you can't extend the lockout. Is there any sort of cafe nearby? Maybe someplace with a decent tea selection? My leave apartment reason is usually a cafe for drinks and for social exposure. The problem is that I have a dog that cannot be left alone, and most places you can't bring dogs to. My dog shrieks and screams bloody murder because he has really bad social anxiety that we have not been able to train him out of. So if we go somewhere, he comes with us, and if we have to go somewhere that we cannot bring the dog to, we pay like the $20 or whatever to have PetSmart watch him for a day. Those are the only options. So sometimes I'll take him out. Like, we can go to the garden store. He's allowed to come into the garden store. He's allowed to come into the fish store. There's a couple places we can go with him. But that's what stops me from, like, just walking to a Starbucks or something, is I can't bring my dog. Do you watch Crucial? I don't watch a lot of WoW YouTube, honestly. I've mostly been watching... I mean, I was on a big fish video watching kick. I actually haven't been watching anybody recently. I've been a little bit bummed out as far as media ever since Overwatch League ended. Like, what am I supposed to watch now? That was all that was on my TV. How do you find your class on Discord? There is a list of all of the class Discords. Who has it? I think Icy Veins might have it. There's a list of all of the main class Discords somewhere. There are class-specific Discords, yeah. They're not officially sponsored by WoW. They're typically sponsored by the theory crafting community for that class. I live in UK land. You would love the shop near me called T2. They have over 300 types of tea. People keep telling me about T2. It's making me want to go overseas. I mean, it'd still be a very long plane ride, but if I ever go overseas, if I ever make it to Europe, I'm finding myself a T2 because I've heard things. I've heard good things. I do get some social interaction when I go out and walk my dog, which I do several times a day, just because so many people want to stop and talk about the dog, which is perfectly fine. But I think most of the thing is having your workplace be your relaxing place and vice versa. It's hard to stop working, and it's also hard to focus properly. You're always kind of working, you're always kind of not. And I understand that's something I can probably fix with better discipline, and I'm trying, and I've been trying for years. But there's a reason why a lot of YouTubers will rent office space, even though they don't technically need to, and it's a lot of money. There's a good reason why a lot of people go that route. Call him a service animal. There are like 15 dogs in the last plane I flew. I mean, he's kind of an emotional support animal, except that we're the ones emotionally supporting him. I want to start another tank, but I already have a dog and a cat, and I prefer saltwater fish. What if you just did like, what if you just tried some freshwater? That's not a huge commitment. You already know what you're doing. You could get yourself a little 5-gallon betta fish tank, or get yourself a dwarf puffer, or fish are so cool. I saw you got a shout out from Talius and Abatel the other day. They recommended one of your videos. They are very, very sweet. Make sure you click normal, even if it says normal. I've had issues with it too. Yeah, I've had at least one character not be able to do it for the last couple of days. Try Sniff Dog Hotel instead of PetSmart. She loved it, plus it's a lot cleaner, nicer. We'll have to look into that. He does fine at the PetSmart day camp. We can't leave him anywhere overnight either, as we can't board him overnight. We took him to a very nice doggy daycare, not a PetSmart, but like a place that they had like a big yard and a farm and a bunch of other dogs. It was a great place. And he did fine there during the day, but when he stayed there overnight, he just can't stay away from us overnight. Like, we got him back, and they said he was fine, but his voice was gone. He was trying to bark and cry and whine and make noise like he normally does. And he couldn't. Like, it was just rasping. He'd cried himself completely. He'd cried his voice out overnight. It was heartbreaking. He's a bit of a special case. Have you watched the program Tanked? Some of them are to die for. Come to the UK. We'll take you to Cheddar, where the cheese came from, and the best cider in the world. I'm down for cider. There's really a place called Cheddar, and I haven't watched Tanked. I'll have to see if I can find that somewhere, because I am all about watching more fish stuff lately. There needs to be a place to help people farm and accept lockouts. You got a Cheddar from Bellular as well. Aw. What a nice dude. Sounds like I've been listening to myself talk. If you come to the UK, Wales is so much better than England. I'm sure there are many individual charms to all of the places. All right, this is the last one of today. This is attempt number 85. Fingers crossed. Drum roll. Bummer. Looks like we're coming back next week. Okay, well, I am going to feed my fish. So let's blow him up because it's a little bit past 10, so he is hungry. And at least this one eats. I really hope the other ones will eat today. They're just so nervous. They're so nervous. I do a head count every time I go over there because I just want to make sure that I haven't lost any more, and it's freaking me out. I haven't been good. I haven't been good for the last day or two. But let's feed this guy. Also, you can see his snail there. It's on the top of the little coconut thing. That's his nearite snail buddy. You want some food, bud? Want some tasty food? Oh, wrong food. This one. Here. I've been feeding him a little bit less so that I can feed him twice a day instead of just once, because I think that's been doing good for him. But just a little bit twice a day. But look at how much better his fins are. You can kind of see the ends of them are like a little bit transparent. That's like the new growth. But for the most part, he's got a couple of splits, but no new bite marks, and the infection's gone, so I'm pretty happy with that. But in any case, thank you guys very much. I am done for today. I'll be back streaming on Friday. I'm going to hopefully make some videos this week. I'm not sitting on anything right now because I spent all of yesterday worrying about my fish. I'm going to try my best to not spend all of today worrying about my fish. And I will probably post on my Instagram story tonight when I go get the additional buddies for my other tank to keep the first one's company. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Stay tuned for more stuff from me, and thanks for coming.